Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Marianna and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, that'd be great. I'm sure you guys have been anticipating this video, but today we're talking about bullet journaling. Typically when starting to bullet journal, you want to find a book. It doesn't even have to be a bullet journal. It can just be a regular notebook. It could be graph paper, or if you want, just a blank sketchbook. It is entirely up to you. This book is particularly filled with cheesy outlines from Pinterest and Instagram. When I first started, I never really tested my own creativity when it came to templates. I pretty much just copying everybody else, which is totally fine. I was learning at my own pace. The binding in this book is actually pretty good. I used it quite a bit and nothing ever came loose or fell apart. None of the pages got weak or fell out. This is a marking brand notebook. It is pretty typical for a notebook. There's nothing really special about it. You can find it at any local store. I fell in love with the process so much that when 2018 came around, I had to get an actual bullet journal. This is a red code book, and to be honest with you, it's a little small for me. The binding wasn't as strong. There were pages that started to get loose. None of them entirely fell out, but a few of them did rip. The page count is, I think, the largest out of all of my books. I didn't use the whole book. I'm glad I got it because I was testing the waters for what I like and the kind of style that I want to use. So by the time 2019 came around, I was still looking for my book, and I found this brand. I absolutely love it. It's called Le Mum. I don't know how to say it, but I absolutely love it. It's slightly larger, slightly taller. It's about 26 dots across and 39 dots down. It has a 120 GMS, which is grams per square meter, which is basically just explaining how thick and heavy the paper is. It didn't bleed, which is really nice, and I absolutely adored it, and the binding was super strong. I used this so much in my passion project class and just all throughout the year, and none of the pages ever got loose, which is really nice. I loved it so much that I got it for my 2020 book, and y'all know I love Disney. But yeah, it's a really great book. I'm really happy with them. It's probably my most suggested. Now to talk about page thickness for a bit, I like to use all kinds of medias in my books. I like to use pens, pencils, markers, and Sharpies, highlighters, paints, and prints basically. I use everything in my books. That's why the page thickness matters to me a little bit, because I don't want them to bleed through. I like to use my books in chronological order, which is from the first page front and back all the way to the end. You can use bullet journals however you like. You can flip to the back and use it backwards. You can jump around in the middle. You can go back and forth. It's entirely up to you. Thus, page thickness might be irrelevant because you don't have to worry about bleed throughs. When it does bleed through, it's not necessarily a fault or a mistake, because you can also turn that into another piece of art. I use my bullet journals for pretty much everything. They are my sketchbooks. They are my planners. They keep track of my events and habits. It's my dream log. It's my journal. It's pretty much anything that I would typically need when it comes to paper. Everything is all put in there, so it's all in one spot. If I ever have too much going on in my brain and I need to just get stuff down and cool out for a second because I've been overthinking, it's a great place to just dump all my thoughts. Now with that being said, if I do have a bleed through, I'll typically just take a print and Mod Podge it right over like a patch, or I will cut out a sheet of paper about the size of the whole page and plaster it on there that way. It really depends on how bad the splotch is. Sometimes I might just make it a drawing and do a sketch out of it and have a little bit of fun that way. Typically when I first get a book, I like to do the paper test, which is when I flip all the way to the back page and grab whatever media I want to use, draw a letter, a line, and then I do the layer test, which is one layer, and then I go over it twice, and then I go over it 3 times. Flip the page over and see what has bled through and what has not, to see where I can play it safe per se without making any bleed throughs. Some of you might be going, oh my god, I don't have the time to do this, I don't have the creativity, or maybe I don't have the money to go out and purchase all these items. Bullet journals do not have a deadline unless you're using it for a class, but you can go entirely at your own pace. You can have a daily page a week, a page a month. You can even fill up a book over the course of 5 years. As far as your creativity goes, everyone is creative. You may disagree with me, but I firmly believe that there's creativity in everyone. It may not come down on paper, it might not even be external, but everyone's got a little something. So you can use your outlets like Pinterest, Instagram. I will be posting videos about how to do templates on to-dos, month covers, week overviews, habit trackers, all sorts of templates and outlines that you can use. There are different ways that you can gather inspiration and ideas to put something down in the book. On Pinterest, I actually have tons of boards that can help you out. As far as the financial aspect of it goes, you don't have to go out and buy anything to start a bullet journal. You can use scrap paper from around the house. It doesn't have to be new. It doesn't have to be the shiniest brand new highlighters that are seen all over Instagram because they're aesthetic and beautiful and blah, blah, blah. Whatever you have works. Your only limitation is you. Your book does not have to be cookie cutter. Mine reflects me, so it's messy. it is kind of all over the place and sporadic. And it kind of proves that when I sit down to bullet journal, it's therapeutic because I get into my own zone and I just write or I draw, which in this day and age is really hard to come by for a lot of people. So I feel very fortunate to have this type of creative outlet to have as a hobby. I didn't know I was going to fall in love with the process. It has entirely changed my life. I know it may seem extreme or dramatic, but that's just fact. I've dedicated a lot of time to these books and I'm proud of them, even the ones that aren't the biggest success. But what can you do? I'm learning, growing, and I will keep doing that. That was really mellow for a second. Sorry to get all melancholy on ya. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified when my videos go up. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!